Atomic Bomb vs. Hydrogen Bomb, A Chronicle of Annihilation. In the annals of human history, where scientific progress intertwines with the specter of destruction, two monumental achievements stand as grim testaments to our capacity for both innovation and self-annihilation. The atomic bomb, a product of wartime urgency, and the hydrogen bomb, a chilling symbol of Cold War brinkmanship, represent pivotal moments in our understanding and potential misuse of the fundamental forces of the universe. But which of these technological terrors truly embodies the ultimate weapon of mass destruction? And what does that distinction reveal about our precarious existence? The deserts of New Mexico bore witness to an event that would forever alter the course of human history. On July 16, 1945, the Trinity test marked the explosive debut of the atomic age. As the blinding flash illuminated the landscape, J. Robert Oppenheimer, the scientific director of the Manhattan Project, was struck by a profound realization, quoting the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." This moment signified not only a technological breakthrough but also a moral Rubicon. The atomic bomb's destructive power stemmed from its ability to unlock the immense energy stored within the atom. By initiating a chain reaction of nuclear fission in uranium or plutonium, scientists unleashed a force equivalent to thousands of tons of TNT. The devastation wrought upon Hiroshima, with an estimated yield of 15 kilotons, served as a stark demonstration of this newfound power, forever etching the names of those cities into the collective consciousness as symbols of unimaginable destruction. The ashes of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had barely cooled when the relentless pursuit of more destructive weaponry led to an even more terrifying creation, the hydrogen bomb. On November 1, 1952, the United States detonated Ivy Mike, the world's first full-scale thermonuclear device, on Inuiatak Atoll in the Marshall Islands. This event marked a quantum leap in destructive potential, dwarfing the power of its atomic predecessor. Unlike atomic bombs, which rely on nuclear fission, hydrogen bombs harness the power of nuclear fusion, the same process that fuels the sun. By forcing isotopes of hydrogen together under extreme temperatures and pressures, these weapons release energy far exceeding that of fission-based devices. The Castle Bravo test in 1954, with an unexpected yield of 15 megatons, demonstrated the terrifying potential of this technology, unleashing a destructive force 1,000 times greater than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The immediate devastation caused by a nuclear explosion is only the beginning of its destructive legacy. Both atomic and hydrogen bombs produce radioactive fallout, a deadly rain of contaminated particles that can persist for decades, poisoning the environment and causing long-term health effects. The Soviet RDS-6 hydrogen bomb test in 1953, which scattered radioactive debris across the Kazakh steppe, serves as a chilling reminder of the enduring consequences of nuclear testing. While both types of weapons generate fallout, thermonuclear explosions tend to produce significantly more due to the larger quantities of fissile material used in their design. The Castle Bravo test, for example, contaminated over 7,000 square miles of the Pacific Ocean, exposing the crew of the Japanese fishing vessel Lucky Dragon to lethal doses of radiation and sparking international outrage. The long-term health effects of fallout, including increased rates of cancer and genetic mutations, continue to plague affected populations to this day. In the cold calculus of military strategy, the hydrogen bomb emerges as the undisputed champion of destructive potential. Its yield-to-weight ratio, a measure of the amount of explosive power that can be packed into a given mass, far surpasses that of atomic bombs. While atomic bombs typically max out at several hundred kilotons, hydrogen bombs can be designed with yields in the tens of megatons, limited only by practical considerations such as size and delivery method. The Soviet Tsar bomba, detonated in 1961, stands as the ultimate expression of this destructive potential. With a yield of 50 megatons, it released energy equivalent to approximately 3,800 Hiroshima bombs. Had it been built to its full potential of 100 megatons, it could have created a fireball visible from 1,000 miles away, leaving an indelible scar on the planet. To truly grasp the magnitude of these weapons, we must confront the unthinkable reality of their potential use. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki resulted in the deaths of approximately 200,000 people, many of whom were vaporized instantly or succumbed to the agonizing effects of burns, trauma, and radiation sickness. Survivors, known as hibakusha, bear witness to the uniquely modern horror of nuclear warfare, their bodies and minds scarred by the experience. A modern hydrogen bomb detonated over a major city would unleash devastation on an unprecedented scale. The thermal pulse alone from a single megaton range weapon would cause third-degree burns to exposed skin within an 8-mile radius of ground zero. The ensuing firestorm would engulf entire neighborhoods, while the blast wave would flatten buildings and infrastructure for miles around. Millions would perish in the initial blast, and countless more would suffer from the long-term effects of radiation exposure, disease, and societal collapse. Perhaps the very question of which weapon is the ultimate weapon of mass destruction is a false one. In the realm of nuclear annihilation, the distinction between atomic and hydrogen bombs may be largely academic. Both represent threshold weapons, capable of inflicting catastrophic damage and triggering a chain of events that could lead to the collapse of civilization. The true measure of these weapons lies not in their technical specifications or destructive capabilities, but in their profound impact on human consciousness. For the first time in our species' history, we possess the power to obliterate ourselves entirely, a realization that has cast a long shadow over our existence. In the aftermath of World War II, as the Cold War deepened and the nuclear arms race intensified, the concept of nuclear deterrence emerged as a central tenet of international security. The idea was simple. By maintaining a credible threat of nuclear retaliation, nations could deter each other from launching a first strike, thereby preventing a catastrophic nuclear war. Bernard Brodie, a prominent strategist, articulated this paradox in his 1947 article in Foreign Affairs. Thus far, the chief purpose of our military establishment has been to win wars. From now on, its chief purpose must be to avert them. This shift in strategic thinking reflected a growing recognition that nuclear weapons had fundamentally altered the nature of warfare, transforming it from a tool of national policy into an existential threat to humanity. The atomic bomb may have been the first to draw blood in war, but the hydrogen bomb pushed humanity to the brink of potential extinction during the Cold War. Together, they represent two faces of the same existential threat, weapons whose very existence has permanently altered our relationship with technology, power, and survival itself. The answer to which is the true weapon of mass destruction may simply be whichever one is used next. The legacy of these weapons serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked technological progress and the urgent need for international cooperation to prevent their use. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, we must never forget the lessons of the past, lest we repeat the mistakes that could lead to our ultimate demise. The specter of nuclear annihilation continues to loom large in the 21st century. Despite decades of arms control efforts, Thousands of nuclear weapons remain in the arsenals of several nations, posing a constant threat to global security. The risk of nuclear proliferation, the spread of nuclear weapons to new countries or terrorist groups, further exacerbates this danger. It is imperative that we, as citizens of the world, take action to reduce the threat of nuclear war. We must support efforts to strengthen international arms control treaties, prevent nuclear proliferation, and promote disarmament. We must hold our leaders accountable for their policies on nuclear weapons and demand that they prioritize diplomacy and cooperation over confrontation and military buildup. Let us work together to create a world free from the threat of nuclear weapons, a world where the destructive power of the atom is harnessed for peaceful purposes, and where future generations can live without fear of annihilation. The time to act is now, before it is too late. Join the movement for nuclear disarmament. Educate yourself and others about the dangers of nuclear weapons, and demand a future free from the shadow of the mushroom cloud. Our survival depends on it.